I am starting a completely unprovoked war on Locked On Rams. Whoever these scrubs are in LA that don't even watch the Rams, let's be honest, there's no such thing as an actual diehard Rams fan. I want to bury them in subscribers this week. Help me do that. Falcons fans, click that sub button to start today's show. Today's edition of Falcons Today is sponsored by Mint Mobile. If you are tired of overpaying for your cell phone plan and you want to start finding ways to beat inflation, well, head on over to mintmobile.com/chatsports and get your cell phone plan with monthly plans starting as low as $15 a month. More on that later on in the show. But let's jump into today's show. We're going to talk about the latest injury updates, what we've got going on that front. Plus, we're going to look at Pro Football Focus's grades for week one. Kind of some studs and duds. Some guys that played well and some guys that, according to the nerds, at whatever cave PFF lives in. Does anyone know where PFF is? I don't think. I would love to know where they live. But not for that reason. Just like, where is PFF? Okay. First things first, we got some news to get to. Aaron Wilson, and only Aaron Wilson, as far as I could find, tweeting out and reporting that the Falcons are signing running back B.J. Baylor after a successful workout. He's a running back. They also worked out running backs Jordan Wilkins and Abram Smith. So, B.J. Baylor was a UDFA out of Oregon State. He was with the Green Bay Packers to start the season, and then they ultimately decided to go a different direction. So, now the Falcons running back room, of course, has just the number one stud, Cordarrelle Patterson, right? And then after that, with Damien Williams a little nicked up, he's dealing with a rib injury. There's Avery Williams in the wings. Tyler Algier was inactive for the Falcons-Saints Week 1 game. Might that change as we now get into the Damien Williams injury news? So, Williams suffered a rib injury early on in the Falcons Week 1 contest. He sort of returned later on, but that was sort of a last-ditch effort. At this point, I would say he's questionable for week 2. Personally, wouldn't mind it if Damien Williams maybe doesn't suit up week 2, and you get a chance to see the draft pick out of BYU from Provo, Tyler Algier. I'm a big fan of his. I was a surprise, maybe as you were, that he was not going to play week 1 against the Saints. Would love to see what sort of workload or maybe what to expect out of him, because this Falcons running back room is unknown for the future, right? There is not a player on this team right now in the running back room that's a guarantee for the next 3 to 4 seasons, so why not see what Algier can offer you? All right, good news though. Drake London, this is kind of just confirming what we all sort of already know, is that he was a full participant during Wednesday's practice. That's the first time since suffering the knee injury in preseason. Of course, he was able to play on Sunday, and he looked pretty good, in my opinion. 5 receptions, 74 yards. All in all, for a rookie who was coming off a knee injury, and rather played through a knee injury, I liked what I saw out of Drake London. I liked his burst. I liked what he was able to do with after the catch. Overall, for just one game, it's a small sample size, but Drake London, to me, looked like a pretty strong number 1 wide receiver for this team. Now, I want to play this game with you guys. Over/under time. Over or under 959 yards this season for Drake London. It's a pretty specific number, right? It's actually how many yards Julio Jones had in his rookie season over a decade ago. So, with that in mind, let me know. Will Drake London have more yards, basically, than Julio did his freshman year? Coming up next, we are going to look at Pro Football Focus's studs and duds for the Atlanta Falcons, who they graded very highly and who they had in the cellar. But first, Mint Mobile, our proud sponsor today, has an awesome deal for the Dirty Birds out there with plans starting as low as $15 a month. To me, it's a no-brainer to make the change. But here's probably the icing on top. You don't have to spend your Saturday missing the UGA game by hanging out in a cell phone store in some crappy strip mall in the middle of nowhere, Decatur, Georgia. No, instead, you can head on over, eSIM technology. It's easy to make the transition. Make it right now. Get started, mintmobile.com/chatsports. You can keep your cell phone number. You can keep everything. You don't have to get rid of your phone. You just get to get going with plans that are way cheaper than whatever you're paying right now. All right, Falcons studs and duds time according to PFF. Now, like I said, this is all through the minds of PFF, which, we have a quick sidebar, you and me. I wish there was another enterprise out there that did what PFF did, because sometimes we just have to go with PFF because they have a monopoly on this. Their grading sometimes, it can be a bit questionable at best. So, stud number 1, Drake London. Overall, PFF ranked him 22nd out of 100 qualifying receivers. I would say for a rookie that had Marcus Mariota as his quarterback week 1, that's pretty good. Overall grade of 71.5 through 54 snaps. I think this sort of confirms what we all saw on Sunday, was that Drake London for his first game went pretty well. I mean, it wasn't 3 touchdowns and 200 yards, but hey, I liked what I saw out of number 5. All right, now for a dud. It is nose tackle Anthony Rush. The Falcons, unfortunately, outside of Grady, Jerrett, have just not been able to put up much of a presence on that interior defensive line. And the nerds at PFF, they ripped Rush a new one. They ranked him 116 out of 123. Woof, yikes. Overall grade, 35.9, a run defense of 49.5, pass rush 52.1 over 28 snaps. 28 snaps is a little less than half of the defensive snaps played in this game, but it is still a decent enough sample size to go, that was not a good outing for Anthony Rush. Now, I want you guys to weigh in here and let me know this. Who surprised you in week 1, right? Who is someone that maybe exceeded your expectations, or someone that did not reach your expectations? Whatever it may be, let me know in the comment section. All right, moving on to my second stud. It is Arnold Ebiketie. I'm kind of bending the rules here. I really just wanted to get the top 2 rookies in the conversation, Drake London and Arnold Ebiketie, because Arnold Ebiketie this week 1, pretty good all in all. Ranked 54 out of 93. To be middle of the pack as a rookie that's not one of the premier pass rushers coming out of this draft class, I'll take it, right? I don't think you should be complaining too much. He had a sack against Jameis Winston. Looking back and rewatching the tape, the All-22 today, Jameis definitely did Ebiketie a favor, because it wasn't like he just blew past the left tackle for New Orleans and did it all on his own. No, Jameis didn't do the greatest of job of reading the pocket. He held on to the football for too long, and that allowed 47 enough time to get to number 2, Jameis. But, hey, a sack is a sack. All right, I'm going to break my own rules. I'm going 3 studs. All right, let's have some fun, right? Let's not be too negative. There's going to be enough negativity this season. What about Grady Jerrett? Probably the best player on defense for the Falcons in week 1. At least that's how ProFootballFocus viewed it, right? They ranked him 6 out of 123 qualifying interior defensive linemen, an overall grade of 89.8. Listen, PFF, this is not like school elementary grades where that's a B+. No, to them, that's really, really good. He was great on run defense. He was there on a pass presence, and 45 snaps altogether. I don't think anyone can be too surprised. Like, if you wanted to have some good takeaways going into or after this season, it is that Drake London's awesome. Kyle Pitts is a top 3 to 5 tight end in the NFL. And Grady Jerrett continues to be worth his dollar, which is one of the better interior defensive linemen. Tossing A.J. Terrell, of course, for being hopefully one of the best corners. And maybe you just learn something about Desmond Ridder this year. Whether it's good or bad, you at least learn if he's the guy or he's not the guy, and you can start looking a different direction. Okay, before we send you guys on your way to Taco Mac, let me know. Predict the score for me. Falcons-Rams, week 2. Who you got? Tell me down in the comments section. And, hey, we'll be looking to see who you're thinking, because I want to go Falcons, but I think the Rams probably bounce back. I'm a coward. Give me the Rams. I don't know, 28-18.